Hi everyone, welcome to Every Day, your daily stop for virtual reality content. And today we're going to be taking a look at another non-game application, in this case, the watching of movies and other video files. Now there are a few pretty popular applications for this, and invariably what they do is they simulate a complete theater environment. And although this might sound like overkill if you just want to watch a video, it actually can be really compelling because you're placed in this environment. It makes the screen feel really big because you're used to screens being really big in a theater. And it also offers potentials for multiplayer interaction when people can sit next to each other in the theater, feel like they're watching something together, can actually sync the video times. And I'm going to be actually starting out by demonstrating this with one of the multiplayer theaters, one under development now called Riftmax Theater. This is very preliminary and there's not always people using it, but it's a good demonstration of kind of the potential features that a system like this could have. And here we are. As you can see, there are 3 theaters in progress. I will go ahead and put my Rift on. I will need sound, of course, for watching videos. Here are my headphones. I'm going to join the theater that has the most people in it, which is this one here. It looks like someone's playing Star Trek Into Darkness. And people are talking. So I just loaded the video. And I'll leave this chat box up while I'm moving around. So this particular video player, it's compatible with a number of input peripherals that I don't have. It's compatible with the Hydra Razor, which allows you to move your hand and manipulate objects. The particular control scheme that's used in this theater, I don't know what that guy is doing. The particular control scheme this one uses is you have a body, so you can see my body, and you turn your mouse to orient your body, and you use your WASD keys to move in the direction you're facing, but your head moves independently. So if I look this way and I press W, I still move the way that my body is facing. So right now they're just showing previews. It's still good enough for our purposes. Everyone's seated up in the back of the theater here, so I'm going to go see what they're doing. So you can choose any seat you like. You can sit down in it. I like to sit a little closer, so I think I'm going to sit next to this guy. What's your name? Player 1. That's a cute name. And here I am. Hi, Player 1. And you can see just when I look up at the screen, it really looks like it is the size of a movie theater screen. And when you sit even closer to the screen, it fills your vision so completely that I'm best just showing this. Like right now, I can see from one side of the screen to the other. Just when I look up at it, it fills my vision, just barely. But if I get even closer to the screen, then it actually extends outside of my vision. So I'm going to sit in the front row for a minute. And this is the same... I fell off. There we go. Jump, jump. So this is the same experience you would have at a real movie theater, that if you sit up in the front row, like I like to do sometimes, you can't actually see the whole screen at once. Like some of it's outside of your vision, and you have to look around at different parts of the screen as the action is going on. And because it uses the text chat, it's actually really convenient. You can talk about the movie with the other people as it's playing. You're not talking over the movie, which I kind of wish you could do in real life. And you can just imagine right away, like being able to sit with your friends, being able to just grab some popcorn in real life, watch a movie together, and you could live 1,000 miles apart and you could be watching the same movie at the same time. And on top of that, you can use any video file. You can use shows. You can just episodes, or and on and additionally, I believe these also support 3D films, so it'll actually render the 3D in the screen, and the 3D effect is a lot more convincing and less irritating for your eyes than it would be in a real theater, which is cool because there's no crossplay between the eyes. So I'm actually going to leave this theater application. I will see you later, guys. Bye bye. And I'm going to go check out another one. The next application I'm going to show you is one called VR Cinema. This is a single player version, and it's designed just for having a theater to yourself where you can watch any video file that you like, and it'll load the file from your local system, and you can just choose any theater seat you want, and you can watch the movie. And again, it supports any video file. It supports 3D files. In this case, I'm going to be demonstrating it with a 3D version of The Hobbit. And I need to configure it. So I'm going to set it to LR. And there it is. So if I look around, I can see that I'm in a theater room. It's pretty dark in here. I can choose any seat I want in the theater. I'm going to choose one pretty up close. So there's the projector in the back. This was one of the very first theater applications made for the Rift. And when I look up the screen, it really is as enormous as a screen in a regular theater. Of course, the resolution is lower than you would see in a real theater, or even if you were just watching the video on your monitor. But despite that, the resolution doesn't really take away from the experience too much. Because these movies are not designed to be dependent on being able to see fine details. You can also see that as the screen gets brighter, as the movie gets brighter, it changes the color and intensity of the light coming from the screen. So it actually lights up the theater. I think that's a really cool feature.
I'm old now, Frodo.
And this is a 3D film, so you can see the 3D effect right up on the screen. And like I said, there's no crossplay between the eyes, which is really cool.
It is time for you to know.
And I have actually sat and watched through this entire movie in this interface, just sitting here in this virtual theater and watching it on this giant screen. And I sat this up close to it like this, like I am now, and just looked from one part of the screen to another as my eyes followed the action. And when I sit up close, it makes up for a lot of the resolution limitations, and it really fills your vision in a way that makes it just seem all that much huger.
There was the city of Dale.
And I just think it's a really cool experience. And I can't wait for this type of thing to be mainstream so that I can share this kind of experience with anyone around the world, and be able to feel like I'm going out watching a movie with someone who might live thousands of miles away from me.
Stronghold of Thrall, king under the mountain, mightiest of the dwarf lords.
It's also convenient that unlike a real movie, you actually can pause it if you need to go get a snack, if you need to go to the restroom or whatever. The movie will wait for you. You can skip to any point in the movie. If you don't feel like watching a part you've watched before, or if you had to stop last time you were watching and you want to resume from that point, you can just go straight there. And even if you're in a multiplayer server, you can do these things if you're the one who's in charge of the room. So you just have to get you and your friends to agree on what part you want to watch, or that if someone needs to stop, go get a snack for a minute, you can pause it for everybody, wait for them to come back. And that's really cool. So yeah, that's the virtual cinema. And I definitely think that this is one of the first applications that people should try when they get their hands on the Rift. It's one of the most compelling non-game applications, and it offers a lot of a great example of how what media is going to be like on the Rift in the future. Now, the downside of this particular cinema application, there are alternative head-mounted headsets or head-mounted devices that are somewhat more suited for viewing video in particular, because, for example, they might have a high-resolution screen with a narrow field of view that's more similar to your monitor. So you could actually watch on, for example, one of these newer Sony HMDs, you could watch 1080p video, and it uses a narrow field of view so that it all fits in your vision. You don't have to look around to see it all. And you're not going to get kind of that theater feeling or experience from that, but what you do get is you get a lot higher resolution, and you and like I said, you don't have to look around to see the whole screen. Personally, I haven't tried them both, and obviously low resolution is one of the drawbacks of the Rift, because it's spread out across your whole field of vision. But I think that personally, I find a lot more interesting and exciting to watch movies in that theater environment, and be able to look around during the movie and be able to share it with other people and look at your side and see them sitting next to you than it is to just have a private viewing experience on your glued to your face, and you can't even really look around while the movie is playing. I mean, that's nice if you're like watching a movie on a plane or something, but the possibilities are so much more limited compared to what you can do with a virtual cinema like this one. Anyway, that's all for now, and everybody have a great every day.